Hello everyone, George Rambleman here. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in North Georgia. Clear and sunny, but cold. And I thought this would be a perfect day to get out and test the newest addition to my bike, my 2020 Heritage, my new Harley-Davidson Kahuna heated grips. Let me give you a look at them. Had them for a couple of weeks now. And I really like them. So let's go on a ride. I'll tell you why I decided to buy them, what I like and what I don't like. Well everyone, George Rambleman here. Hope everybody's doing well. It's mid-March. I guess it's March the 13th. Sunday afternoon here in Atlanta, and first day of daylight savings time, so I got an extra hour of daylight, and it's late afternoon, but it's a beautiful sunny day, but cold. Actually, the Arctic front that came through the southeast this weekend, yesterday I was going to get out and ride, but it was only in the 30s, and no can do on that. It's too cold. But today it's up in the 40s, and I thought, man, what a perfect day to get out on the bike and ride with my new heated grips. And that's what this vlog is about. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the decision I made to get the heated grips and why I did it and what I got and what my experience has been so far. I ended up buying the Harley-Davidson Kahuna heated grips, which are not the least expensive ones on their website. They have some plain rubber ones that are pretty a little bit cheaper. But anyway, I went ahead and decided to get these, and I'm very happy with them so far. I'm going to throw up a little picture from the Harley website of what the grips look like. And again, these are the Kahuna heated grips. I got them with the black trim, so here's what they look like. Very attractive grip. And if you look at them here, if you can see, I really like them. And they replaced the Dominion grips I had on this before, which match my mirrors and the gas cap covers I've got. And those Dominion grips were very knobby, and they looked great. I love the way they look. I mean, that's why I got them. And on short rides, they were, you know, they were comfortable enough. But after going on the first road trip a few months ago and being on the bike all day, you know, the comfort of those grips, they weren't very soft, and it just wasn't very good, and I didn't like it. And I've been thinking about, you know, getting some heated grips for a long time. My son gave me a gift card for Christmas. It was enough to buy the grips, and I just did it. The Kahuna grips that I got on the Harley website are like $293. It cost me a little over $300 with tax. So they're not an inexpensive add-on to the bike for sure. But why did I decide to get them? Well, one of the things about living in the southeastern part of the country is you don't have to put your bike away for the winter. We can ride pretty much year-round, but obviously there are a lot of days in December, January, February, and into March where it's just pretty cold. I mean, it's clear like this and great riding weather, but cold. And you know, I've got a nice leather jacket and, you know, leather gloves and boots, and you know, I stayed fairly warm, you know, when the temperatures in the 50s for a while, and it starts to get kind of cold the longer you stay out. And the thing that always got the coldest to me was my hands, because with this Heritage Classic and the Suzuki Boulevard I had before, your hands are out in the airstream here, as you can see. There's no fairing, there's no hand guards, nothing to protect your hands from just the open breeze. And after a while, my hands would just get frozen. I mean, they would get stiff, and I'd have trouble working the clutch and the brake, and you know, just wasn't pleasant to ride in the colder weather. And when I say colder weather, I would say, when it gets down to 55 or below, and you stay out in the breeze for a long time, it's just uncomfortable. So I found myself, cutting a lot of rides short, and so I began thinking about the heated grips, and was talking to my son about it, and that's why he actually gave me the gift card. Because I thought to myself, if I could keep my hands warm, I think I can extend the riding season for me a little bit. Get out on days like this and just be really comfortable. So I decided to do it. I bought them, I put them on, and had them for a couple of weeks now. I've been out several times on the bike with them. And basically you have a knob right here on the left grip that goes from 0 to 6, and you can adjust it to whatever level that you want. It does take the grips a few minutes to heat up, and they're not instantaneously hot. But once you've been out a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, they warm up very nicely. And I've been very happy with them so far. I guess the thing that kind of pushed me over the line to buy them, because they are kind of expensive, and I did stop and think twice about it, but I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on business, I don't know, a month or a couple months ago. I don't know exactly when, but I got up one morning and it was -5 degrees. It was so cold. And I had a rental car. That week I had a Jeep Cherokee, I think. And it had heated seats and a heated steering wheel. And I got in the car and it was freezing that morning. But that heated steering wheel was great. Now I know a heated steering wheel inside a car is a lot different than heated grips on a motorcycle out in the breeze. But after experiencing that heated steering wheel, I said, you know what, I'm just going to get those heated grips. Number one, because again, I want to try to be able to ride in weather like this, and also I just needed to replace the grips that I had. Those Dominion grips were not very comfortable, and these are nice and soft, even when I'm not using them, which is probably going to be 9 or 10 months of the year for the heat. They're a nice, comfortable grip. In fact, I was in a dealership in Grand Rapids, Michigan last week, I think maybe week before last, and I saw a CVO Street Glide, and the CVO Street Glide that I saw had these exact grips on it. So they're very attractive, and they do the job. I mean, right now, I've been out for 15 or 20 minutes, and my hands are toasty warm, and they stay that way. Stoney and I were kind of chatting this morning by text message. We made our plans for our trip in May. We're going to go up and ride in West Virginia, and he wanted to give me the hotel arrangement. So we were kind of chatting back and forth, and I mentioned to him that I had bought them. And he said he had been thinking about it, but the guy at the Harley shop said, he kind of talked him out of it and said, you'd be wasting your money, because the palms of your hand might be warm, but the back of your hand is going to still get very cold. And I've heard that same statement made to me by several people. Not anybody at the Harley store. They were encouraging me to buy them, of course, but I really didn't know. I didn't know if they were telling the truth or not. And here's what I found out. That being in the back of your hand getting very cold might very well be the case if you're riding maybe in 20 or 30 degree temperatures, which I don't really hardly ever do. I think I've maybe rode in 30 degree temperatures once or twice, and that's it. And if you stay out a really, really long time, I can see the backs of your hands could possibly get cold. But for me, I bought them for the temperatures in basically maybe the 40s to 50s is what I bought them for, and some of you guys up north might be laughing at me on that. But that's why I bought them, and I have not had that issue with the backs of my hands getting too cold. Basically, have my you know, palms around these heated grips, and they get very hot. It keeps my hand warm enough so it doesn't stiffen up and freeze up, and I can still work the clutch and the brake, and everything's fine. And it just works great. I'm very happy with them. Find out, you know, I have a pair of pretty heavy insulated winter gloves, and the first couple of times I went out on the bike and rode with these heated grips, I thought, well, these things really aren't getting all that hot. And I was thinking maybe I made a mistake, but I realized those big, heavy, thick insulated gloves were probably preventing that heat from getting to my hands. So what I did was swapped out the gloves, and these gloves I got on now are kind of a mesh fabric. They've got a leather palm to them, but they're not exactly the lightest weight summer glove that you can have, but they're not the heavy, thick winter glove. And with these particular gloves, the heated grips, the heat comes through much better, and you can really feel it. Right now I've got it set on almost 6, like 5.5, and I'm gonna really have to turn it down because they're really almost too much. And the first time I got home, I was in a pretty cold day. It was in the 40s, and I got home and I had those leather gloves on thinking they really weren't all that hot. And I pulled into my garage, took off my gloves, and felt the grips with my bare hands, and I almost couldn't touch them. They were so hot. So they do the trick for me. I'm thoroughly happy with them so far. The grip itself is very soft and comfortable. The heated grip seems to work just fine for me. They heat up pretty quickly. A lot of folks have said, you know, heated gloves are better. I had a pair of Joe Rocket heated gloves that we had to charge up a battery for, and I really wasn't too happy with those long term. In fact, I don't even use them anymore. And my advice to anybody, if you're going to get any kind of heated gear whatsoever, whether it be jackets, vests, pants, gloves, boot warmers, you know, get the kind that plugs into your battery of your bike. I'm sure those produce a good amount of heat. The battery powered items that I've tried out in the past just didn't seem to work very well. I have a friend of mine who's got some heated gloves that he plugs into a lead on his jacket, then his jacket plugs into a lead from his battery, and he's very happy with that. And I just didn't want to do that. I prefer just the, you know, not to be plugged into the bike like that. But so my overall impression of these Harley-Davidson Kahuna heated grips is thumbs up. They're expensive, but to me they're worth it. You know, it's probably, I don't know, 49 or 50 degrees right now, and it is just, you know, my hands are just as warm as they can be, and I'm very happy with them. So give me your comments. I don't know if you guys have tried heated gloves. You like them, you don't. I'd be interested to hear what you guys have to say. But for Georgia Rambling Man, rambling around North Georgia most of the time, I give these Harley-Davidson Kahuna grips a thumbs up. And I think they're well worth it if you can afford them and you want to ride in weather like this and keep your hands a little warmer. All right, hope everybody has a great week. This is Georgia Rambling Man. So long, everybody.